be said, of course, that Meghan Markle literally flicks off friends like flies on the top of her Formica kitchen thing, you know? It's very strange, isn't it, when you think, because she's had so many good friends and seemingly there are none of them around now, particularly when they, well, some people might suggest are most needed. What I find fascinating is, though, that as Meghan careers through, or as she likes to talk about, travels through people, through certain options, whether that be husbands, of course, friends, associates, all that sort of stuff. Well, now apparently it looks like friends are quietly deleting her from their lives. As ever, let me explain. Morning, good to see you. You all right today? Thank you so much as ever for your time. And as ever, thank you for enjoying so many of the videos. I really am thrilled that you enjoy so many and as ever, get behind so many. The political ones, of course, are very hard to stomach, aren't they? When we're all going through very difficult times. You know, people say, oh, Neil, everybody goes through difficult times. You know, I share things with you in here. I couldn't believe my favorite slices of turkey have literally gone up by 50%, literally in about 4 days. And when I mentioned this to someone in the store, went, oh yeah, and you think, well, I just won't buy it. But then we should all be like rails, shouldn't we? Because we're not all buying this stuff that we can't afford, you know what I'm saying? It gets longer and longer every week, doesn't it? The list, you think, I can't afford that, I'm not going to buy it. I think it's more we don't want to buy it because we're angry, because we know we're being ripped off. I think that's it, isn't it? Are you with me on that? Let's get back to your royal story of the day. What do you think? You know, Meghan Markle, really, it is just transitioning every single moment, isn't it? You know, started off with a fairy tale, some people might say a nightmare if you're a member of the British monarchy. And moving forward, of course, Meghan has now decided to do many different things, also be it not very successful. Most predominantly her recent lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard, that sort of stuff. What I find fascinating in itself is that while this has been an absolute and utter disaster for Meghan, clearly, you know, she didn't mind raking in all of her chums to make a fool of themselves by gushing about jams and things that they could never buy. And as I told you before, there were so many people that were now not working for her, but were at the time, that basically said, slow down, you know, we don't need to do it at this pace, let's get it right. Meghan pushed ahead. And then, of course, the chums, who are now not so many chums, had to decide whether they were going to stick with her or not. And then they had to put on social media, under the directive, allegedly, of Meghan Markle, exactly what they had to say, when the particular post had to go out, and that the fact that they loved it. And everybody did it, didn't they? Nacho, the polo player, some other chum sat with a dog, you name it. Everybody was trying to appease Meghan. Now, quietly, they've been told to appease Meghan on another thing and quietly, just gently, not altogether, but remove said post, because she believes that this is going to be detrimental when she finally does launch. Yes, apparently she still believes she's going to be launching something. Not quite sure what. Maybe it's a rocket, who knows? But the other side of it is that she believes that if they just remove that, well, people won't remember. It's all over the press. It's everywhere. I mean, this is what I mean. Who advises Meghan Markle? But of course, these chums that still want to remain in the shadow of her spotlight, people like Patrick J. Adams and the rest, well, of course, they'll do exactly what Madam says, because as ever, Madam gets what Madam wants, right? But it just looks kind of sad, pathetic, and more importantly, will only highlight the fact that she's made a huge mistake. Best to leave it, best to let them leave it, and then hopefully you launch with something very successful, and everybody will hopefully forget exactly what a mess you made of it the first time. However, in Meghan's world, if it doesn't work, you simply delete it, right? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.